Well, hey guys, Captain Dave Schneider, It's a Guide's Life, coming to you from my vlogging studio in Sheboygan, also known as the Fernelius Basement. Anyway, listen, I'm back in front of you here, and I want to talk to you tonight about something kind of cool. I'm covering this information because I've actually had 2 subscribers ask me about this, and I told them I'd answer it on camera. And I started thinking, it kind of fits in with kind of how I described where I'm at and how I got to where I'm at, but I've been asked some real specific questions about how you become a captain. How does somebody go about being a licensed Coast Guard captain? And I will say the process over the last 50 years has changed dramatically. And it's gotten, quite frankly, quite a bit more stringent. It's more of it's a little bit more strenuous now than it used to be. But having said that, I researched, did some online research and whatnot, and I found out, first of all, the process is that you can go and take the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard will administer the examination for you. But they just basically, you take it, you pass, you fail. There's 3, sometimes 4 parts to the exam, and you have to pass them all, plain and simple. But more importantly, you have to pass them at certain levels. I mean, there was one section of the test that I had taken on markings and signals and things, I believe, and you could only get 1 wrong. And if you got 2 wrong, you failed the section. And it was only 30 questions, but that's still a really high percentage requirement, which is probably a very good thing. You want people with these captain's licenses to, they need to understand what they're doing on the water. I went to a place called Sea School, SEASCHOOL. They have offices actually quite all over the United States. And it just so happened, I went to St. Petersburg over near Tampa. And I went to St. Pete's, and I was there for 6 or 7 straight days. And they were all, it was like 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day for 7 days or something along those lines. It was quite a few hours of class. But it was incredibly effective. They were really good at it. What they did basically is they taught exactly to the examination. They taught exactly, these are the things you need to know and understand. These are the concepts. They couldn't possibly tell you what the questions were because they don't know. But they do know the topics that are covered. And so they would cover all of those topics. And I felt incredibly well prepared. And I passed all of my examinations on the first try. Now, the class cost me about, and again, you could just go and take a test. You can. But the percentage of people, I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm an educated man. I've got a college degree, and I've got many credits past my bachelor's degree. And I have a lot of college education. And because I'm an educator, I also had a pretty clear understanding of how to approach my study and what I need to be writing down during the lectures and things like that. So I feel like I did have an advantage in that regard, and that might be one of the reasons why I was successful on my first try. Because it's not normal for somebody to pass all of the tests on the first try. A lot of times people have to come back, and if you fail too many times, you have to start the process over and all that kind of thing. So, but I'll get to that. What I want to say though is, I went to Sea School. I decided they were my best preparation opportunity to pass the Coast Guard exams. Now, Sea School is a certified exam proctor, so they actually can give the Coast Guard examination. So after we were done with the Sea School class, Sea School brought a test proctor, not the same person as your instructor, obviously, and they came in and proctored the tests, and they would give 1 section of the test at a time, and you could come in if it's 6 o'clock, they were giving part 1 navigation, part 2 lights and signs and signals, whatever. Part 3, the actual, you actually had to use maps and charts and stuff like that. It was actually very cool. I really got into that part of it. But in any case, you would take each section of the test. And if you passed the section of the test, you could go to the next section, and the next section, and the next section. And if you pass all 4, you get a captain's license. Well, at least you've passed the examination portion. It's not just passing a written test. There's a lot more to it. There's a physical exam that you have to pass, of course. You have to pass a vision and hearing examination. You have to be able to pass, there's a physical that you take that is required. You have to get certified in CPR and as well as first aid. You also had to get other things. When I was doing it, you had to go through the process of getting something called a TWIC card, which basically meant if you left U.S. waters into Canadian waters or whatever, you could get back. Now that since then they've kind of eased back on that. And now somebody told me recently that I didn't have to renew my TWIC card. And that may be true, but you'll know. You'll know. You'll get this information. But I use C-School, and I just want to reemphasize that again. C-School. I use C-School, and they're the only ones I have any experience with. This is not a commercial for them. It's just what I did. I used C-School, and they knew everything I needed. They made sure, look, you're going to have to get this test done. You're going to have to get you have to get tested for drugs and all that kind of stuff. And captains have to be drug tested annually. So that's an important component of it as well. Make sure that guys aren't, well, you get that. And so that was the process that I had taken, and I was well prepared because of it. I took my test. Listen, there was so much information. I'm telling you, after I sat in class for about 3 days, I told my wife, I said, there's no way I would ever pass this test without taking this class or a class like it. There's no way you could, because it's not common sense. You think, oh, I'll take a driver's test. Well, I drive, so it's common sense. No, it's not like that. It is. They ask you very specific things, and you need to know very specific things to be able to answer them. And the nice part about it is C-School lets you know they're going to ask you about onboard fires and what you need to do. They're going to ask you about when you're coming into a harbor, where the signals are and what you're looking for. They're going to ask you specific things that are going to require you to know specific things. They're going to ask you if you're overtaking a boat and they're the stand-on boat, meaning that they have the give-way boat and you're the give-way boat. There's a way that you have to pass them. If you pass them on the starboard, you have to do something a certain way. If you pass on the port, you have to do something a certain way. It's not common sense. You have to just know what those things are. So if you want to be a captain, and I hope I'm not overcomplicating it, but if you want to be a captain, you seek out a place like C-School. They'll get you through the process. And the nice thing about that is they will continue to help you and tutor you until you get your captain's license. That process cost me about $600, I believe it was, for C-School. I had another $200, I believe, in medical checkups and things like that to get my hearing and my medical done and everything else. I had I think I had $100 involved in taking my CPR and my first aid class. And I know that there was a $100 application fee for my TWIC card. The whole thing, when I was all said and done, I think it was about $1,300 was my out-of-pocket for the process. But I'm a captain, and here I am now. I got my captain's license. I picked a very well-known marina and managed to weasel my way in there and get some trips, and then I just let it all hang out after that. And 3 years later, I'm a full-time rotation guide at Roland Martin Marina, but that was my road. That was what I had to do to get my captain's license. And I'm going to leave you again with C-School. Now I'm going to come back with you here because I want to show you. I got a little tip for you tonight too. I'm going to follow up here with a little tip about how to rig crankbaits. This isn't a crankbait tutorial, but just a little tip for you, kind of on my way out today. If you like the video, do me a favor and hit the like button for me. It helps me so much. Really, just like, all right? And leave me some feedback, guys. If you're new to the channel and you're just checking it out, please subscribe. I hope that you find what I'm doing entertaining, and I plan to keep pumping these things at you. So go ahead and subscribe for me, and please let's share it. 1,700 giveaway, right? Tomorrow I'm going to show you everything that's in the 1,700 basket. I'm also going to go into detail tomorrow's video about what exactly you have to do to get qualified to receive the 1,700 giveaway. All right? There's a bunch of stuff in there, guys. So anyway, Captain Dave Schneider, I hope you enjoy the little tip coming up, the tutorial tip coming up. It's a guide's life. It's a great life. I'll see you soon. Here we're going. Hey, listen, this is Captain Dave. I got a tip for you. We're talking about crankbait fishing now. If you're gonna throw crankbaits, it's widely considered important to tie a loop knot onto your crankbait to give it a little more action. All right, but loop knots aren't that easy to tie. Number one. Number two, most people don't do it for whatever reason. But I have a solution that doesn't require any kind of a special knot, and that's called a speed clip. It's this little mamma jamma right here. Here's the package for those of you who want to see a package. Scott Nealis, right? There it is right there. All right, there's your package. Norman Lures makes these babies. All right, speed clips. This one's got a little yellow on it. I bought it from a store that is set in the window too long. Hey, you know what? That's not important. All right, now, all right, here's the deal. So you take your little speed clip right here. You take your little crankbait right here. Just like this. All right. Now we're going to pinch this baby open. Pinch her open just like this. And we're going to just clip it right on there. Okay, I did that without my glasses. All right. And it's going to hang just like there. Oh, yeah, there's my glasses. Thank you. All right, now, as you can see, now we can all see, it's hanging just like that. All right. You see it's got the little bit of a loop there. And that loop is going to create that same thing a loop knot does. But what's nice is you can quickly change, and it's not too much terminal tackle, guys. It doesn't collect grass or anything like that. I'm telling you, I've been using these things for 20 years. And it is my crankbait tip of the night. Use a speed clip. You can fish 10 different baits. Just bam, 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 picking them up, setting them on the deck, picking them up, setting them on the deck. It's that easy to use. Speed clips, Norman Lures. It's a guy's life. I'll see you tomorrow.